Welcome to Read the Bible with me. I'm Stan Jr., and today we're looking at chapter 6 of the book of Esther. I appreciate all of you who are here and watch and read the Bible with me every day. If you're new here, go ahead and click the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. I'm so thankful that you decide to read with me and do that if you're new. If you're a Bible Club member, thank you so much for your generous donations. That $10 a month helps us sustain this ministry, as well as buy Bibles and send them to persecuted Christians, as well as send missionaries into the mission field. And so I'm grateful for your donation, and I'm thankful for your consistency and faithfulness in that area. Let's read chapter 6. I don't want to pray chapter 6. Let's read chapter 6 of Esther. And if you're a Bible Club member, go ahead and click like on this video and leave a comment below. Chapter 6, verse 1 says, "On that night the king could not sleep, and he gave orders to bring the book of the memorable deeds, the Chronicles, and they were read before the king." Why do you think he couldn't sleep? The Lord is involved already. And they were read before the king. And it was found written how Mordecai had told about Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs who guarded the threshold and who had sought to lay hands on King Ahasuerus. And the king said, "What honor or distinction has been bestowed on Mordecai for this?" The king's young men who attended him said, "Nothing has been done for him." And the king said, "Who is in the court?" Now Haman had just entered the outer court of the king's palace to speak to the king about having Mordecai hanged on the gallows that he had prepared for him. And the king's young men told him, "Haman is there, standing in the court." And the king said, "Let him come in." So Haman came in, and the king said to him, "What should be done to the man whom the king delights to honor?" And Haman said to himself, "Whom would the king delight to honor more than me?" And Haman said to the king, "For the man whom the king delights to honor, let royal robes be brought, which the king has worn, and the horse that the king has ridden, and on whose head a royal crown is set." So he thought he was saying this for himself, but really he was just setting up Mordecai. setting up Mordecai in a way to replace him. And it's just the pride. I'm laughing because pride will really make a fool out of you. We've got to be very careful about fighting pride in our lives. Pride is the one thing you'll see from Genesis to Revelations. Pride. The downfall of man is pride. And so we see here, and Haman said to the king, "For the man whom the king delights to honor, I want robes, I want horses and a crown." And verse 9, "And let the robes and the horse be handed over to one of the king's most noble officials. Let them dress the man whom the king delights to honor, and let them lead him on the horse through the square of the city, proclaiming before him, 'Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor.'" Then the king said to Haman, "Hurry, take the robes and the horse, as you have said, and do so to Mordecai the Jew, who sits at the king's gate. Leave out nothing that you have mentioned." He wants him to do that for Mordecai. So Haman took the robes and the horse, and he dressed Mordecai and led him through the square of the city, proclaiming before him, "Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor." Then Mordecai returned to the king's gate, but Haman hurried to his house, mourning and with his head covered. And Haman told his wife Zeresh and all his friends everything that had happened to him. Then his wise men and his wife Zeresh said to him, "If Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is of the Jewish people, you will not overcome him, but you will surely fall before him." So his friends at least were honest and let him know that your demise is coming quickly. And it's all because of this pride. He was so angry and so festered with pride. Pride had taken over his mind. Everything he thought about was boasting in himself. And so when the king asked him, what should we do for a person that saved my life? He thought it was him. He thought he was so important. That's what pride will make you do, thinking that no one can replace you. Remember, you are always replaceable. The Lord will call any of us home and get the job done the next day. That was chapter 6 of Esther. Thank you so much for reading. I appreciate all you that support the ministry and that are Bible Club members. If you'd like to become one, click the link in the description. Become a patron, support this ministry. We read the Bible every day at 7 a.m., and I'm grateful to be doing it with you. Thank you so much. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. We'll be reading chapter 7 of the book of, well, we do have verse 14 here, I'm just noticing. Let me read that. It says, while they were yet talking with him, the king's eunuchs arrived and hurried to bring Haman to the feast that Esther had prepared. So this is setting us up for chapter 7, the feast that Esther prepared to tell them that who she really is and who her people are. So that was chapter 6 of the book of Esther. Thanks for reading with me. God bless you. I'll see you next time. We'll read chapter 7 together. Peace.